I love this country. Not my first time. This is my 5th time, but my first time in Manitoba, first time in Winnipeg, obviously. So I love it here. Oh my God, you're not kidding. I just went to this place called Second Cup. And okay, so clearly you all know what this is. I went there and I'm like, what am I gonna have? I want to take a cappuccino. The guy with me is like going, you should have frozen hot chocolate. I'm like, what is this witchcraft you're speaking of? And I'm walking down the street back here, skipping, going, this is such a great time to be alive. Crying, sitting on this same one, like, oh. So that's my day. How have you been? Amazing. Do you mind? Can I just lay down? Hey everyone. Can you still kind of see like half of me? Awesome. Great. No. You just see my little hair thing? I don't even know what these are called. They look like a sleeve stack. Oh my God, so thank you all for coming. This is so incredible. I love this space. I feel like I'm teaching you a class. I'm not qualified to teach a damn thing, just so all of you know. Except how to get into lots and lots of trouble. I'm pretty sure most of you would get extra credit in this. So cool. So what this is just kind of a Q&A. I'm sure many of you have seen me make a total jackass of myself on YouTube videos and whatnot. So I just like to have it open to Q&A, and it's a nice, the acoustics are really good, so you can just raise your hand and I'll pick on you and you can kind of project your question. Now, before we get started though, there are a couple of, not so much rules as guidelines I like to set down. Rule number 1, these are very comfortable couches. But this is mine. So if you have a request, it better not get me off my ass over there to you, or you up here, because I like this, I feel superior, no, not really. But I'm just extraordinarily lazy and I don't want to move. So now's not the time. Please don't hand me your phone and say, here, call my sister's cousin's best friend's former roommate's hairdresser and do the Sebastian voice and propose marriage to her. Please don't have me do that. All I have to do is say it, and they're like, oh! I heard the cheer about to happen. So please nothing like that. If you have, requests are fine. Just let's not, I don't want to move a lot. Also, if you have seen the question, or you've seen me answer the question that you want to ask, like on a YouTube video, I promise you my answer is going to be pretty much the same here. So don't unless you're trying to fact check me. Ask another question. I like random stuff that gives me a chance to ramble, and I will ramble. I'm a voice actor. I'm pretty much doing it 24/7 anyway. They just kind of roll me in front of a mic occasionally to pick up some of the things that come out of my mouth, and then roll. Sometimes I know this is supposed to be like a family-friendly panel. Every now and again I will let a curse word fly. I think I've already had 4 of them go, so I do apologize for any of you who have sensitive ears. You blame the American in me. Just, curse people down there. Oh my God, I went to a fight once and a hockey game broke out. Extraordinary. So let's get this underway. You've got me until 9 o'clock. You have a question there. I like your style.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't keep my fabulous shut sometimes. Since you said random questions, I thought of 2. And I also brought this specifically. I brought this wig specifically for you for a reason.
Oh God, please don't make me wear a wig. Oh, thank God. People want me to wear things all the time now. I'm like, no!
Frankly, I don't care. I'm fabulous.
What is
I
happening?
just need to say, Isaac!
moorings and we're gonna drive it downtown.
Oh, is that when we're not in costumes? Because that's a costume at a convention?
Yes.
I didn't do that.
That's brilliant, thank you. Oh my God, that's great.
And I thought of 2 questions you can kind of choose whatever. One of them is, out of order of attractiveness, rank your top 3 favorite fast food restaurants.
Rank in order of attractiveness. Can I just say the way you put that? Do you work in advertising?
McDonald's. The blue monster thing, he isn't the pizza monster, he's Lionel the Taste Bud.
Go on.
And you grew. The other question was, because I thought it would involve some thoughts and it would actually pertain to the subject, would be, who would win in a fight between all the characters who've ever voiced? A battle of wits and an actual just combat. Who would win if they were sitting in a room and had around a table and
Sebastian. Probably.
Who would win if they were punching each other in the face?
Oh my God, I love everything about these questions you just asked me. That is amazing. Ranked in order of attractiveness, I guess my top 3, you asked? My top 3? Top 3 fast food. I don't eat a lot of fast food anymore. What? You mean like in terms of attractiveness?
For me, it's Wendy, the Hamburglar.
Oh, okay. You mean like mascots and stuff. Oh, really?
In
Yeah.
third place, I actually just stuck the A&W bear.
You have a bear? We don't have a bear. We have a root beer mug. I want a bear.
You have Papa, the mom, you have the grandpa.
Oh my God. My root beer's too cold. My root beer's too hot. Mine's too hot, right? Okay, I don't have an answer for you for that question. I don't have an answer for you for that question, but you make me think of a very funny story. But I will have to drop a wordy dirt for the point, so please, those of you that are offended, I'm very sorry. Be ready for it. I don't know if you get them up here, but there's a brand of toilet paper, yes, toilet paper, called Charmin. Do they have the ads up here where it's the cute little bears in the woods? Okay. Having worked in advertising for much of my young career before I'm doing what I'm doing now, who here does not watch that and go, oh my God, the unspoken tagline for this entire campaign is Charmin soft? Does a bear shit in the woods? That's what that means. That is what that means. I promise you at some point there was a bunch of beleaguered, world-weary ad execs in a room trying to please this client who would not give them anything after months of coming up with different ideas, and they finally said, fine, let's go with this one, and someone goes, oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes, we'll have cute bears. Oh my God, yes. And it's been running for like 14 years. I die laughing every time I see it. I'm like, there it is again. No one knows that that's what's really going on. So yeah, and I can tell you in terms of attractiveness, I want to beat up Ronald McDonald because he's a clown. In a battle of wits, of all the characters I've played, I think it would probably be a toss-up. I mean, okay, I'm not going to say Sebastian because that's unfair. Because it is really, because he's got CL, and CL would be like, I already going to win this, and boom, he's got it because it's Sebastian. So it's really unfair. That's like everyone else. It's like, oh my God, it's like bringing a, someone just brought an Uzi to a knife fight. Thanks for reading the rules. Yes, exactly. By that battle of wits, it would be a toss-up, I think, between Killia and Lawrence from Spicy More. And the subject would probably quite often be money, incidentally. In a fight, again, you have to rule out Sebastian because that's just unfriggin' fair. Sebastian, I already would kill everyone in this room. Okay, no, you can't. And I don't think Sebastian would fight if he weren't being ordered to do it, because he seems like he's a lover, not a fighter. Whatever that means. I'm a demon, I'm a lover. You're a demon. Okay, so I'm a soul leader, not a fighter.
Here, have a cat.
I don't know. I used to think I used to tell people just to be ironic and say, oh, Dororo from Sergeant Frog, except that he's a frog. And people are like, no, hey, I'm a ninja, I'm gonna kick your butt. Oh God, I don't know. Probably. Kill you wouldn't fight though. He wouldn't fight. Are you kidding me? He pays someone else to do it. Or he pays someone else to like break their kneecaps for them. I don't know. I think probably Scar. Scar's a big version of the guy, and he's got like nothing to lose. You don't want to be in a fight with someone who's got nothing to lose. Those were excellent questions. Thank you, and thank you for the myriad. But everyone around the applause again. You have a request. You have a wig too. I'm not putting on the wig. Okay, thank God. Just so we're clear, I'm not putting anything on. Okay. What song? Oh, I don't know this. I'm not really a singer. Oh, I'm not gonna read it. No, sit. Wait, I can't sing. I really can't sing. I can't sing. You've heard Sebastian sing London Bridge, right? That was 4 hours of recording. I'm not much of a singer. Oh my God. Tell you what, I will work on that and get back to you. I'm sorry, I suck. Do you have something else you'd like to ask instead? Oh, that's not singing? Because I'm terrible at singing. You can say that. How do I say the weird? Oh, I can't.
Oh, he's getting up.
Oh, he got up.
He got up.
You lied to us. You moved from the couch. You moved. Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me who believes in you.
No pressure or anything. I love it. So just the highlighted bits?
Yeah.
God, I hate cold reading in front of people. It's so terrifying. There's like 1,000 people in this room. Let's see.
10 in the studio.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll do the old stage trick and pretend you're all naked. Wait, that's not happening. All right, let's see. All right. I'm going to go through this now. In my Sebastian voice, I'm going to read several lyrics from Call Me Maybe.
Oh my God. Sam, don't say anything. I'm freaking out.
That's my favorite part.
Oh, brain freeze. All right. The cheesiest thing I've ever done. I trade my soul for a wish, pennies and dimes for a kiss. I wasn't looking for this, but that rhymes. But now you're in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing, hot night, wind was blowing. Where do you think you're going, baby? And this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me, maybe.
I have a badge.
The best thing about my job is I wake up in a hotel room in some awesome part of the world and I'm like, what is someone going to have me do in an hour? That is one of those things. I see red cat ears. You're holding your hand up. Yes, you just pointed to your head. I assume you know who you are. I don't always know who I am. What's your question?
Donkey,
Yes. Oh, I know donkeys.
how is it playing that role? Because you're such an animated person and he's got the emotional range of a teaspoon.
I would beg to differ on that. I think he's got an incredible emotional range. He just keeps it all inside.
He's like a giant pond. It's just a calm pond.
Yes, still waters run very deep. that was a really fun experience because I think the show Holic, of those of you that don't know where Dominique is from, how many Holic fans do I have? That's great, because we did that show like 7 or 8 years ago, and the numbers keep growing. That show's been a very slow burn for a lot of people. Talk to the Japanese, sweetie. I'm just an actor. Believe me, all of us who work on that show would love to do more stuff, but until we get it, or until they decide to give it to us, there's not a lot we can do, sad face. But anyway, Dominique. That was the first time I got to be in something with Todd Haberkorn, and he and I have since been just about every imaginable pairing that you could think of. I mean, we've been friends, enemies, brothers, I mean, like... a few of the things in my head. Oh, Todd is hot. Come on, not next time. Very straight though, unfortunately. Believe me, I know. I've been barking up that tree for 7 years. Oh, Todd, baby, when are you gonna entirely opposite sex? I'll be waiting when you do. Oh my God, he called me during a panel. That's his thing. He loves to call me during panels. And I call him, but I'm roaming. And the charges are, oh no. Dominique's really a lot of fun, and precisely because Dominique is so very different than me, it's very challenging, and the challenge of a role like that is the appeal. Because you couldn't emote very much. Dominique's always just very, very down here like this, very monotone, speaking about, you know, a good clip or two, like longer or slower than I typically do, but he's so funny, and Todd, as Watanuki, is amazing. Todd is an amazingly talented actor, and I'm constantly surprised and delighted by what he's able to do, and threatened as a fellow actor that often goes out for the same roles. I'm like, hey, Todd! He's really awesome, and a lot of times, because Dominique had such fewer lines, I would be way ahead of Todd recording on that show. But he, in my mind, owned the role so profoundly that even when he wasn't recorded in a scene, I would see Watanuki flailing and hear Todd in my head and laugh as though the line were recorded, which was great fun. And that show is amazing. I love Holic. I think it's really great. It's kind of like to my mind, it's almost like a cross between like Supernatural and Doctor Who. Very, very wonderful, sexy things that there should always be more of. And so it was really fun getting working. I think the animation is brilliant. I love the clamp style. They're one of my favorite one of my favorite like aesthetics. And I think it's great. So yeah, Dominique, one of my favorite roles. Oh my God, I haven't thought about Dominique in a long time because it's been so long since but every time I'm like, ah. Yes, we all love numbers. Thank you. Let's see, you here in the front row.
I have 2 questions.
You have 2
One
questions.
of them is from me, and it's a random Doctor Who question.
Random Doctor Who question, we like those.
If you could be with any of the doctors or something,
I hate those kinds of questions. I love them. That's a good question, but I hate them. I would be so screwed on a desert island. I'd be on the singing ship going, what do I take? I don't know. God, there's so many doctors I'd want to be with. It's a toss-up between my 2 personal favorites. Patrick Troughton, the 2nd Doctor, who is probably, I think, the most amazing, and Tom Baker, who was my first Doctor. So Tom Baker or Patrick Troughton. If I could have them both, hey, it's a time travel show, why the hell not? I want them both. There's enough of me to go around. And you had a second question?
Yeah, it's for my dear fellow shadow follower who hasn't been able to see
Shadow follower? Hi, sweetie. Hi, shadow follower. Oh my God. It's just the name of the fan club. It's not a creepy thing.
She wanted to know how you, because you played so many different roles, she wanted to know how you get into character for each of your roles. Like, what's your process?
It's kind of unique for each character, I think. It depends a lot on the scripts, it depends a lot on the nature of the character. When we record dubs, in particular, we don't have a chance to really get to know the character until we are actually in the process of recording it, because we have to do everything so quickly. So when I am in front of the mic recording something, I don't have, this is usually the first time I've seen a script for the show. And it's the first time I've seen the animation we're dealing with. So really, there are several things that always guide the process. One of them is the director, who is there to kind of, because we record everything in isolation from everybody else. We don't record scenes together. It's impossible to do timing-wise because we're dubbing instead of doing prelay. Prelay is a very different animal. You can have a bunch of actors in the room playing off of each other, and the animators animate around what is delivered. With us, we have the exact opposite problem, so we have to, do what's there. Now, I will say that there are some advantages to dubbing as far as acting is concerned, because my biggest problem with acting, my biggest challenge, is that I tend to overthink things. So if given a lot of time, or if given a lot of freedom, the more freedom, in other words, the more freedom I have, the less likely I am to make the right choices, because I have a buffet of things I would like to do, and I can't do all of them, it won't work. So I'll just sort of choose this at random. If the animation, however, hedges me in other words, it kind of narrows the choices I may have with regards to a read or a delivery for a particular line, that's awesome. So, a line sounds very different if the character's kind of staying there, stroking his chin, or kind of maybe looking like this, then you're going to read like this. And not read like this, because that would not fit the animation at all! It would be really annoying, your director would fire you. Rightly. And sometimes, especially Isaac and Miriam Bakano are a great example of how I would get really animated in the booth. Isaac was one of those characters, I'm like, oh my god, this isn't really acting for me, it's just like me with a slightly deeper voice. And I'd like to think dumber, but maybe not. But I was really animated in the booth, and this is one of those things where I was more animated in the booth than the characters were, and the characters are pretty freaking animated. So Tyler, the show's director, was constantly calling me out, and he's like, somehow it's still working, even though it's very over the top, it's working brilliantly. And then, I swear to God, slowly but surely, the character on screen became as animated over the course of the show as I was in the booth. So Tyler's theory was that apparently my movements were so ridiculous and over the top, and I was looking like such an ass, that it was like infecting the animation, like going back in time and inspiring the original animators to make Isaac look even dumber, or act even more flaily than he was. Those characters are very challenging, but I mean, it depends. A lot of times, and once I've been in a couple of recording sessions for a particular character, and I feel like I'm getting to know them, I will pick out music for them from my collection, my personal collection. I'm usually en route to the studio, which is about a 30-40 minute drive for me, depending on the traffic. I will listen to that selection of music to kind of get myself in the mood. I'm very aural, I'm very music and sound oriented, which I think is what helps a lot when you're a voice actor. So I tend to gravitate a lot towards music that I think, gets me in the mood. Anything that kind of recreates the atmosphere of my first experience with that character often does it. So, thank you.
Okay, I just need to say something. It's related to that, not forget it if I forget. So there's a Kyoya playlist in your...
Oh yes, they all have playlists. They all have playlists. Yes, there's a Kyoya playlist, there's an Isaac playlist, there's a Domeki playlist, there's a Soldier A playlist somewhere. There's an in-room playlist. If I played that character, there was a playlist in my iPod of these characters, and yes, and I still frequently listen to them. So, do you have something else you want to add?
Yeah, I have one quick question.
Sure.
The other moderators for the Shadow Followers want to know if I could use it to ask some questions they have, because we've had trouble contacting people.
Oh, I know, because I'm like never online anymore. Talk to me later, and we'll see if we can set something up.
Okay, so
Talk to me after the panel, or, let's see what happened to this panel later tonight. Right, yes, talk to me after this panel. I'll talk to you after the panel, so stay put. That does not mean the rest of you get to lynch me, please. All right, let's see, another question. More toward the back of the room. I see a sword.
Writing or adapting a script, do you ever write something out with a particular voice actor in mind for that character?
All the time. In fact, I can't do it unless I'm thinking of an actor. Now, I'm rarely thinking of myself because I don't want to work with my scripts. Not because I don't think I'm good at it. Sometimes I think I'm born to write adaptive scripts for dubs because I freaking love it. But it is hard to take on the pressure of being the writer and the actor for a particular scene, because then you're like, wow, if this doesn't work, it's either because I'm a crap actor or a crap writer. So all the pressure's on you. The only time I've ever really done that was when I was the lead, when I was Okabe in Steins Gate. Do I have any Steins Gate fans in here? Awesome. That show was amazing, and I never want to do it again.
Might get a movie.
What?
Might get the movie. That movie in Japan.
Maybe we will. I can't talk about it. They make me sign all sorts of papers that say, no, I can't talk about it until it's out. So, but yeah, so I frequently do. It so happens that not infrequently, the actor I have in mind gets cast in the role. Now, as a writer, I do not make it known who I have in mind for this or that part, because it's just a personal thing I do to guide me through the process of writing. I have absolutely no right or entitlement to go to anybody and say, well, this is who I wrote for, this is who should play it. So I never ever do that. But it just so happens that every now and again, like I got to work on the adaptations for the Frieza in Dragon Ball Z Kai. And it just so happened that as I was watching Frieza do his thing, I thought, oh my god, Chris Ayres would be freaking amazing in this role. And I kept hearing him in my head, and I could not imagine anyone else. Now, I did not make it known to Sabat, who was directing the dub and line producing the dub, that that was my choice. And he got the part, and there was nothing quite as satisfying from a writing standpoint as having Chris Ayres, who was a dear friend of mine to begin with, call me from the booth on break from his first Frieza session in Frieza's voice going, well, hello, Mr. Tatum, I just want to thank you for these amazing scripts. It's like they were written for me. I'm like, yeah, they kind of were. Go figure, yeah. So it was really, really funny. But yeah, good question, good question. But yes, to answer your question, yes, all the time. I have specific actors in mind for the roles I'm writing, but never myself. God, never myself. You, Masters Blonde Hair, yes, you.
If you were forced to take two male characters you voice acted and force
Only
them
two? Wait. Sorry, go on.
To take two male characters you've ever voice acted and force them into a romantic relationship, who would they be?
Only two?
Got a harem.
5? A harem? Only 5? I don't know. I'm
question.
Look at me hemming and hawing like I haven't thought about this before. I don't know. My mind doesn't work like that. Yeah, it does. It really, really does. I think my favorite mental pairing of characters I have played, my favorite pairing would probably be Kyoya. Well, it has to be characters I've played, so there goes that. Okay. My favorite pairing is really Kyoya and the twins. Not technically a pairing, but still pull off, and also, I mean, come on, it's like they're like comic-y crazy, but they're smart. And there's 2 of them, so if you can think of one, you just go to the other. That's the secret to a good relationship. Romance between 2 people is a beautiful thing. Between 3, oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened, characters I've played, I don't know, probably, it has to be someone sexy, I don't know, someone down there. I really love Lawrence a lot, so I would be in a relationship with Lawrence because I'm like, it's a guy I want to like spend a lot of time on a wagon with. Rolling in the hay, as it were. I don't know, I think Isaac and Lawrence would be a really, really good pairing, because between Isaac's sense of adventure and Lawrence's sense of getting the job done, they would make a really interesting pair. That's not what I meant, but now that is what I meant. I'm trying to be euphemistic, stop making me think dirty thoughts, it's all your fault. You people are horrible, I'm never coming back here. That's not true. Let's see, go to the front, let's go to the back. I see you in the blue shirt with like sunglasses on your head. You had to check out the color of your shirt, like, oh yeah!
How about a voice request and a question?
A voice request and a question. Go for it.
I want you to voice one of my favorite characters that you voice, Enru of One Piece.
Okay, yes, okay. Can I do my, this kind of ties back into your question, my dear, because I did this for a long time when I was recording Enru on One Piece. I would go through the Jack-in-the-Box drive-thru, no kidding, and order like this. In fact, I still do this frequently. Yes, I would like a number 6 with curly fries and an Oreo cookie shake. And when they say, well, will there be anything else? My response is invariably, yeah! No, I'm good, thank you. Thank you, I love it. And you had a follow-up question to that as well, did you not?
I heard that you're interested in Shakespeare.
Very interested is is not the word. Obsessed would be more accurate. Shakespeare? Yes. Was that was a statement, by the way, not a question. But is that a question? You just want to hear about me and my relationship to Shakespeare?
Say a line as the character that's a line from Shakespeare.
Oh.
Good idea.
Let's see.
Play Shakespeare again.
Oh my gosh, what did you do? I played William in Romeo and Juliet, which was really funny and a huge honor. I didn't want to do it. Bruce Elliott made me. He's like, it's how good. I'm like, oh, I don't know that I can do this voice, but I suppose I can. It's sort of foppish British, you know, I've done quite well by it. But I don't know, what's a good, oh my God, you asked me to do a Shakespeare line, and that's like asking me to pick a favourite child. Pick a favourite child, I don't know. And I have... Every even when it's like the old woman in the shoe. Let's see. I could do. Okay, I'll do a bit from Hamlet. God, I love this country. You do this in America, they're like, who's Hamlet? SpongeBob SquarePants' friend? No. No, it's not. Let's see. But I have to do this William, right? So it's going to be kind of silly. Oh, to be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of a courageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles by opposing evil. To die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say that we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is apt to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. I sat down to my first true story. I had, as a child, I didn't speak for a very, very long time because I had a stutter. Very bad stutter, a debilitating one, in fact. So I used to write things down on paper because it was torturous to listen to me, or so I thought. And I know I've been making up for lost time ever since. But we found that the stutter disappeared if I had a script to read from. And my grandmother, who was a lit professor, sat me down with my first Shakespeare play, The Tempest, when I was 9 years old and literally just learning how to use my vocal cords, as you know, most people had been doing for years at that point. And so I sat down to that, and it's been a love affair with Shakespeare ever since. I will get into fights over Shakespeare. I will kill a bitch over Shakespeare. Enormously protective. Not that he needs my protection, but my God, that's never just. Oh my! I could talk forever, ever and ever and ever about Shakespeare and how he pretty much invented all of us, and we're living in his rhetoric and. Yeah, la la la. Let's see. You have a question in front row.
I have good authority that Brina Valencia has pranked you on quite a number of occasions.
Yes, because she's a horrible person.
Have you got her back, or has it escalated?
No, because I'm terrible at pranking people back. Okay, for those of you that don't know, Brina Valencia, who plays CL, and many other things besides, she's also Holo in Spice and Wolf, and we've actually been several times in our career, and I love her. She's one of my dearest friends. She's a fantastic person. She's ridiculously talented. So talented, it makes me angry. No one has any goddamn right to be that good at that many things. And to also be beautiful and funny and just a good person. Screw her. But she's amazing, and I adore her, and I think whenever she's in a show that I am in, I know it brings out the best in my performance, and you know, it's fantastic. She started pranking me because she's an opportunistic pranker. Like, she just was in the neighborhood where I happened to live and thought, I'll stop by, and noticed that my window was unlocked, and that I was gone, so she then proceeded to, you know, not really literally break into my house because the window was unlocked, but she crawled in through the window and like rearranged my furniture, left me a note on a $5 bill and on my couch that said, "We had fun, thanks," left me like ice cream and beer in my fridge with my name on it. I was scared for my life. And she let me think it was someone else for like 4 or 5 hours, because I totally immediately thought, every time something horrible happens to me that could have been done by a human being, I automatically called Brina. I'm like, what did you do now? But she gave up on me because I tried to prank her back and it failed horribly. We were going to be at our first con together just about a year after this big prank she pulled on me, and I finally thought, okay, this is the time. So I had done, she was in a show called Beck Mongolian Chop Squad, which Greg Ayres is the lead in. Beautiful show, it's one of my all-time favorite anime. I freaking love it. And that was her first really big role, and she's amazing in it, as you would expect. But for a lot of reasons, at least stateside, it didn't do terribly well. I mean, it did over time, but originally it was not the hit that we were all, certainly everyone who worked on the show, would hope it would be, because it's certainly good and it deserves a big audience. So it was kind of, disappointing. But we were going to be at a con together, and I decided that I was going to start this rumor, and I had flyers, I had a video made, I had everything, that she had a pet sloth that she had rescued from some sleazy Honduran circus and died suddenly of pneumonia right before this convention, but she was going to be there anyway. So she was going to be, and the sloth's name was Beck. So the idea was to have this information out there so that all these fans would come through her line and say, oh my God, we are so sorry to hear about Beck. So sorry. And for her to go, I know, right? And have no idea that in all their minds she had this poor baby three-toed sloth that died horribly. No, the day before she came to con. But it didn't work out because not enough people found out about it. They kept taking down the damn flyers and the video kept having problems posting it. It was a good prank, it just foundered because I wasn't prepared. And plus it's Brina, so she doesn't care about a sloth. She doesn't care. She would have been like, oh, Tatum, that's stupid, that's not a prank. And so she's just like, I'm not gonna prank you anymore because I feel bad. She's like, I'm really questioning our friendship now that you haven't done something horrible back to me. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm paying the long con. Maybe I'm just in this for 5, 6, 10 years, gonna do something, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm terrible at pranking people. Absolutely terrible. I see you with the blue and the apron and the wig. I assume that's a wig. If that's your real hair, that's amazing. Could you rub your stomach and pat your belly while standing on your head at the same time? Okay, so you want me to sound...
Sebastian's voice while acting like friends. That's what they
That's really difficult to do because the voice is so much a part of the attitude, So Sebastian doesn't really sound like that. And he doesn't really move like that either, so I don't know that I could get away with it. I'm trying right now, as you can see, it's not quite working. So, plus asking a British person to sound like a French person, that's, ooh, like that. What? God, I don't know. One of my favorite things to do when people ask me, this happened, this was born of someone saying, improvise a quick conversation between France and Sebastian. I'm like, thank you, wow, two of the hardest voices to switch between, and you want them to have an improvised conversation in front of you. Okay, here it goes. Oh my God, you're so sexy, do you want to come and work for me? No. Let's see, you there, and then you're on the third row, I believe.
What's your favorite character outside of anime that is an anime that you haven't played?
My favorite character outside of an anime that I have played or have not played?
That's an anime that you haven't played.
Oh, my favorite anime character that I haven't played. No one? I'm kidding. I really, really love Spike from Cowboy Bebop. God, there's tons of others. I grew up on anime. Captain Harlock is very old school. Oh my God, 4 people were like, woo, yay, we're old together. Captain Harlock was one. Oh my God, I really think. I love Todd Haberkorn's Watanuki, as I mentioned earlier. I think it's one of the funniest, one of the most amazing comedic performances I've ever seen, and I'm incredibly jealous of his ability to do that. Brina's Hola would have to probably be my #1 favorite though, because that is an amazing creation. So, did you have a follow-up to that?
Yeah, it just occurred to me, you mentioned Hamlet's and Tempest earlier.
Yes.
Have you seen Zetsu and Tempest or Blast of Tempest?
Say that again, have I seen who's Tempest?
Blast of Tempest is the English title, or Zetsu and Tempest?
No, I have not seen it. I'm going to be making a note of that and pick it up later because that sounds amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, you with the red bows.
I have 2 requests.
2 requests and a partridge in a pear tree.
On behalf of my younger sister, she's never really been an Italian fan, but you managed to crack her up with your France laugh. Would you be able to do your laugh?
I will do the French laugh, but you have to tell me a knock-knock joke. It doesn't have to be good in French.
Mean.
Who's there? Batman who? That's not a joke. Oh my god, did you hear about the 2 guys that stole their calendar? They each got 6 months. And what else?
The second one is also on behalf of one of my other friends. Could you do Sebastian's dirty limerick?
Sebastian's dirty limerick? Oh my god. I suppose I can. For those of you that have seen the outtakes, it was something I left for John Swayze, who plays The Undertaker, as a dear friend of mine, incredible actor, and there was a scene where, he's having to tell The Undertaker a joke to get information, and, you don't really actually see anything because they cut away, and I just happened to thought, I'm going to leave something for him that will just, what we call bombs. That sounds like I'm farting in the booth, and you're like, hey John, go in there, oh my god, no. But it's the vocal equivalent where you leave something that they will hear in their pre-roll so that they can't get through their line because they're too busy laughing because you've said something completely out of character. And it just so happened that Ian, the show's director, also plays Barbara, Ian Sinclair, lifted that limerick and put it in another scene between he and The Undertaker where there were flaps, and it happened to fit marvelously well. And so they put that on the outtakes, and it's Sebastian saying, oh God, please forgive me, all of you. There once was a woman from Q who filled her the JJ with glue. She said with a kid, if they pay to get in, they'll pay to get out of it too. Next true story I learned from my mother. Because she had no idea what it meant. She was a high school teacher, and someone got in trouble in her class for saying that, and so she came home and she was like, was I right to send to detention that it wasn't dirty? I'm like, you have to ask? You have one what they're talking about. I don't, and I know. And what? Mom, my mother's so pure and good. Kind of ridiculous. Way in the back, someone's holding up a wall scroll, I believe. Or,
What did you like doing better, Black Butler or Natalia?
oh, again, the better favorites game. I'm really bad at picking that. I love them both for very different reasons. I love Sebastian because Sebastian is a really fun character to do. And sexy. There's always that. I think Prince is sexy too. In a weird, rapey kind of way.
True.
But both shows are great, really fun. Sebastian, Black Butler is the kind of show I love because it's a perfect balance between dark and goofy. It's a really nice balance, and the whole sort of gothic aesthetic I really love because that was me in high school. And so it's fun, and of course I love doing the British accent because it's a fun, I fall into it very easily because, as I said earlier, I had a speech impediment when I was very young and I learned to speak from a British lady. Her name was Mrs. Brit, true story. She was this fantastically ancient woman, hewn from rock with one of those grey buns that accounted for a full foot of her hair. A full foot of her height, rather, and she was always walking around saying things like, the rain is staying, the rain in the plane, put another marble in her mouth, you little bastard. It was great fun, I loved her, but that's kind of how I learned to talk, so I frequently will do the Sebastian voice in public when I want to sound sexy, because it's something about the British accent, I don't know what it is. Something about the British accent can get away, it turns 5s into 8s and 8s into 11s all the time. So, true story, I was at a hotel recently, and it was after a con was over, and the hotel had gone back to what we like to call normal. And it was sad, I was not ready to be normal again, so I decided to go to the concierge desk and pull a fast one, and being in sort of that mood, I said, hello darling, do you have this little restaurant around here, and sort of came up with this conversation. She had no idea who I was, she hadn't been there all weekend, so she wasn't coming off the con as was I, and she just stopped me, she's like, no, what is that coming out of your mouth, stop. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, is it the accent? It throws some people. She's like, no, stop it! What? Oh my God, Deborah, come here. Say something. I'm like, hello, Deborah, how are you this fine day? She's like, no. If you were my boyfriend, you talk like that to anybody else, we would have problems. And I realized, oh my God, I have to do this the rest of the week now because she's going to kill me if she realizes this is me putting her on. And I love Italia because Italia is fun and manic and it's a big ensemble cast, so it's fun being in a show with a huge cast where everyone kind of gets equal weight and equal consideration because it's funny. And the show's energy is incredibly manic, but the fact is it's actually an enormously intelligent comedy as well. There's a lot of great historical references and a lot of really funny things that go on. I think Jamie Markey's adapted scripts are marvelous, and I've never had more fun in the booth than working on that show in terms of being in part of something that was huge. So both shows are amazing, and they're both, I couldn't pick a favorite between the two of them because they both have their own rewards, and I love them both, so thank you. Let's see, everyone's like, boo, you didn't pick me. Okay. What's wrong? Ask the question, love.
No, I was trying to get you to answer this one.
Well, I'll get to her later, perhaps. But let's give the floor to my young master before you all die.
If you got to choose your favorite 5 characters?
My favorite 5 characters?
Put them in a zombie apocalypse, what would happen?
Put them in a zombie when they all survive. What are you talking about? My favorite characters? Oh God, I don't know. 5 favorite characters. Well, first of all, among those characters would be Isaac and Miria, whose plan would be to dress up like zombies and just go, which is what I would do, because nothing else seems to work in all the movies. Sebastian would just stand there pointing and laughing at everyone. Oh, fake zombies. Isn't that adorable? Oh my God, who else? Kyoya would be taking notes in his little black dossier, and people would be like, oh my God, at the very last minute you realize he's done some incredibly abstract calculation to determine just the right angle to drop this wall and a Tadra, so that all die and you can go free. France would sit sucking his thumb crying. And, I think that's probably, I guess that's it really. No one else would belong in that group. Lawrence wouldn't be there because, he's in Germany in the Middle Ages.
Isaac.
Zombies. What's that, Mary, my dear?
I was just saying Isaac in that scenario.
Oh, Isaac is dressed up as a zombie, pretending to be a zombie. That's what he's doing. All right, so I have a few minutes left, and then I have to wrap it up. So I'm going to do a lightning round. So kindly, if I pick on you, ask me a question that can be answered very quickly, and keep it to one question and no requests. All right, that way we can get through this. You, madam, in the third row with the thing and the stuff.
How is that snuggie that you use?
My snuggie that I use for friends, how is it? It's wonderful. I still wear it occasionally. True story, the last time I recorded this, friends, I wore it with nothing underneath. It's a very hot day. What are you going to do? You with the yellow ribbons. The Shakespeare mangas? Yes, I'm familiar with the Shakespeare mangas. I think they're amazing. I love that they're a thing. Someone's dying over there. Please don't die. Don't die. That would be incredibly awkward if you died. We will all thank you to stay alive, please. You next to her. You have a quick question? Okay.
What would you do, what do you think Sebastian would do if 17 cast came out right from Single
I love you. Kick their asses. Sword, dagger thingy, there.
What advice would you give to young people starting their own anime series?
Oh God, good luck to you, hire me. I have no idea. I would give the advice that I give to anyone that wants to follow their dreams. Be prepared for the worst. We were saying this earlier in our voice actor panel and who wants to be a voice actor type thing. And the thing about it is that when you are doing something artistic or creative, chances are you are very passionate about it, and you absolutely should be, or you have no business doing it. However, you have to be just as passionate about the bad things as you are about the good. So if you want to be an actor, for example, you have to love rejection just as much as you love getting a yes every time you go into audition. If you're an artist doing an anime series, you've got to love starving for a little while just as much as you love selling your first series. Love the whole process, even when it's horrible. That's my advice to you. You in the front with the red shirt.
Ask a random question. I'm just gonna ask a random question. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, all the characters I played, that'd be a hell of a scene. It's been like 120 some odd characters now. I don't know, they'd be in a choir, I guess? That's the only thing I can think of, because that's a lot of people to have in one scene. You with the bandana, pink bandana.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Go out and buy one. I've never understood that question. People are like, what are you doing for a Klondike bar? I'm like, yes, no, screw you, I'm gonna go buy one because they're over there in the store in the freezer aisle. I'm not scared of you. Yes. You with the Oral High School Host Club jacket on. Wait, I'm sorry. Say that one more time?
How would an eccentric personality do your papa with a straight face while he's wearing a girl's uniform?
Very carefully. An eccentric personality? You're calling me an eccentric personality? Oh my god, that's amazing. I love you. You with the guy.
After your time orgy with 2 and 4, where would you go?
A time orgy? What? I didn't hear you correctly, did I? Time, what? With 2 and 4, okay, my two favorite doctors.
Yeah, where would you go?
Where wouldn't I go? Oh my god, okay, first of all, if either one of those doctors, they could take me anywhere. I don't give a damn.
Shakespeare!
Yes, we'd go to meet Shakespeare. And we'd actually take Shakespeare with us. Oh my god, are you kidding? It would turn into such a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Let's go get Socrates, let's go get Genghis Khan, let's go get everyone, and then take them to Chuck E. Cheese. Why the hell not? I see you've got a thing, a sleeve, and a wonderful, beautiful like head makeup thing going on there.
You mentioned your library before. You ever reread a specific series or a favorite?
Yes, I have quite a few favorite series. I'm a big fan of the Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser series.